Okay, so I'm going to do the review for test 2. So I sent you the question. First question, this family buying a house, and the house price is $325,000. You pay $150 down payment and take mortgage of the balance. So the balance is 325,000 minus 150. So 3,500 minus 150. The loan amount is 175. And I said this earlier, the loan amount, as always, the present value. You have the money available now, you only pay it back. It's for 30 years, and it's compounded. The interest 6% compounded monthly. What's the payment? Since there are multiple payments made, and this is present value, we're going to use present value equals C. Where R is the rate over M. Rate is 6%. Monthly 0.005. And T would be M times time. It's 12 times 30. 360. So we put everything together in the formula. Present value C, we don't know. C is the payment, and that's what we're looking for. Interest is 0.005. T is 360. And we divide everything by the 0.005. It's recommended to do this in 2 steps when you're solving for payments, so I'll do this first. So 175,000. This in the calculator is 166,7916144. Solving for C, payment would be this over this. $1,049, 213419. So I'm going to write it down. C monthly payment is $1,049,213,419. If you look at the answers, A is the same answer, but they put a 40 instead of 04, I guess to confuse people. But the right answer is D, none of the above. Okay. So this is for the first question. Question 2. Still in the same information, still in the same question. What's the total payment, total amount of interest they will pay? So total amount of interest. Now remember, we figured that T, M times time is 360, and this represents total number of payments. So you take a loan of 175 after the down payment. You make this payment 360. We know that payment includes interest. What's the total interest? So you ask yourself, how much did the bank get from us? So the bank got this payment $360 times. So the bank got 377,716,8308. But you actually got from the bank 175. So you got 175, you pay back 377. So the interest you pay, because you pay this, would be the difference between what the bank got and what you got from the bank. Interest amount 202,716,8308. A is very close to the answer. Difference is about $1.23. It depends on the rounding. I believe that if you use maybe 2 decimal places here, I'll try this quickly. If you use 2 decimal places, and then you minus it from 175, I get exactly the same answer if you round up. Our answer here is more accurate, but if you round the payment to 2 decimal places, to 1, and use it, answer would be exactly A. Okay. We'll go and do question 3. No idea why I actually erased this. This is the payment, and we know there are 360 payments altogether. in this table, they give you an interest or the amortization table, and they want to ask you for some numbers in the amortization table. Now, let's do the amortization table together, and let's see how this is going to work. So you have payment 1 and 2. You have the opening balance. You have the payment amount. You have interest paid, principal paid, closing balance. So when we start the loan, we're going to start with 175000. We're going to stick to 2 decimal places. Payment is this. Interest paid is always going to be R times whatever PV, present value, at that time. Meaning, whatever the opening is at that time. And R, when we did it earlier in the question, we found that it's 005. So you take the 005 times the present value at that time, it will be 875. Principal paid is your payment amount minus interest amount. The difference between these two. $174 So obviously, you start with 175, and after the first payment, you pay back 174 off of the 175. So the difference would be your closing balance. Closing balance would be opening minus principal paid. So you close at 174,825.79. And that would be the opening here. Payment doesn't change throughout the life of the mortgage. It's always this amount. Interest is R times the present value or the opening at that particular time. to pay back principal, we always say it's payment amount minus interest. Payment minus interest. 175.08. And the closing balance would be whatever the opening minus whatever your principal paid is. So you start with this, you pay back 175. $174,650.71. And if you keep going for the third payment, then the closing is the opening, same payment. This would be R times opening. The difference would be payback, and you close by whatever the opening is minus payback. And you keep going till the end of the mortgage when you reach the 360, where the balance here becomes 0. And you'll notice that throughout the life, interest starts high and becomes less. Principal pay becomes low and keeps going up. I believe, it's not very clear from the picture, but I believe that the question was asking for this number or any other number, but this number, I think that's what the question was asking for, and it's not one of the choices, and that's why the answer was D. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do question 4. What's the balance owing on the mortgage after 15 years? Now, 15 years means how many payments? Well, it means T is always M times time. We know M is monthly, and they tell us 15 years. That's 180 payments. So in this amortization table, if you go 3, 4, 5, all the way till you get to 180, what would the closing balance be? Of course, you won't be able to do it this way, then there must be a quicker way to get to the closing balance, or how much you still owe them after 15 years, 150 payments. Well, opening and closing, they're both loan amounts, meaning PV. So we're looking for present value. And we know that the formula for present value is C 1 minus 1 plus R to the T over R. We know what the payment is. We know what R is. Only we need to know what T is. When you see this question of how much you owe, you need to know that T for mortgage represent remaining number of payments. So the T here that you're going to use for how much you owe them, the T for loan or for mortgage is the remaining number of payments. So if we know that altogether there are 360, and we're looking after 180, so how many payments are left if we made 180 payments? Will be 180. But the 180, it's not because this is 180. So let's say that they want the balance after 5 years, so 12 times 5 would be 60. So your T that you're going to plug here would be 360 minus 6,300. So you need to remember T is the remaining number of payments. So we put everything together. Amount, I'll use 2 decimal places. $0.05. This one is 180 and 0.005. It works out to 124, 335 and 7 cents. So 124, 335 and 7 cents. That's answer A. Good? Okay, so go ahead and do question 2. Two means that's based on new information. Pontiac offered a cash back allowance 1,000 or zero finance for 36 months for a 2006 Pontiac GC, which was sold at 16,000. Assume that a buyer is able to find financing from a local bank of 3.84 for 60 months compounded monthly. So what's the monthly payment if the buyer chooses the cash option? And which option should you choose if the decision criteria is the total amount of payment? So let's see if we go with cash amount. I just noticed that my battery is almost about to die, so I'll do this in part 2 video. So shortly I'm just gonna pause, bring the charger, and continue.